Hello everyone, in this video I will show you a new solution that you can use Kinkoni ESP32 board with Home Assistant and Tuya at the same time without MQTT. Before we have introduced you can download the KCS firmware so that you can integrate Kinkoni ESP32 board to Home Assistant by MQTT, and your Tuya also can work at the same time. But this time and in this video I will introduce you can just configure by ESPHome YAML file and without KCS firmware and without MQTT, so that the Home Assistant and the Tuya just only configure by YAML file. So that will be very simple and will be all can configure by YAML by yourself. Okay, let's look at the principle and how to do it step by step. Let's look at this hardware we will test in this video. And this is Kinkoni Server Mini because it's a Raspberry Pi controller. I have installed the Home Assistant on this board. And this is A32 Pro, the smart controller, also made by ESP32. And just a take example used by A32 Pro. And also you can choose this E16T, so that can integrate Home Assistant because you can see the right is Tuya module, and also you can use E8T, so that can use the Tuya module. So because in this video I will show you how to use this ESP32 config YAML file to work communication with this Tuya module. So that will be support the Alexa Speak and the Google Home Speak directly, not need to pay any money. Okay, let's back to my computer and I will show you all details. And you can see this is our GitHub because the Kinkoni have make this new component for Tuya, so that you can use ESPHome with the Tuya Wi-Fi module. So you can see all at the here have details, show the example code. And this is A32 Pro. You can see this is Home Assistant dashboard. You can use mobile phone, Android phone, or iPhone, or PC. And also you will use this Tuya mobile phone. So that will be work at the same time because the Home Assistant is working locally without internet. And this Tuya mobile phone, you can see that use internet remote control. You can see the 5G or 4G or 3G. So you can use Tuya mobile phone remote control your relay just on the world. You can go to anywhere, just have internet, you can remote control your relay for on and for off. And if the internet is broken, if you're in your house, so that you can use Home Assistant and control your relay in local network. And even if the Home Assistant is broken, and also you can use menu control button on A32 Pro. And let's look at this is our Home Assistant dashboard. And you can see this is the ESPHome. I have installed the add-on. Just I need to configure the A32 Pro in the ESPHome so that we can use the Home Assistant and use the Tuya application. So we just create a new device and continue. And we can choose A32 Pro because I will rename later. And click next. And the chip you can choose the ESP32 S3. And you can see that's just a skip, and we can click this one, edit. And all this have configured by Wi-Fi as the default, but I prefer use the Ethernet. The Ethernet is very stable. So you can see in our phone, and you can see this config YAML file that we have already created for you. So you can just directly to use, just copy and paste. So you can see this have a txt file. You can download it. So just this file I have downloaded. So you just select all and copy and paste in your ESPHome. We can delete this and paste at here. Okay, you can see the config YAML file is so much long, almost 1000. The most important, I will show you some different config. Because if you download the firmware, you just directly to use. And you can see it here. And the GitHub, you can see just some sentence you need to configure it. Just some sentence. This is an example. It's very easy. and you can see. So the first, you need to confirm this option, the Tuya config self model is 0 or is 1. That means make sure your hardware, you can see this have two hardware different diagram. And you can see this one, you can see this Tuya module usually will have a config button because you need to configure the SSID and the password. And this is LD, is network LD. So you can see this Tuya module and this config button and the config LD indicate is connect with the ESP32 GPIO. So that means the ESP32 have managed this button and this LD. So this means that is 0. So that the Tuya module not use self manage the button and the LD. So that means 0. So you can see we have set A32 Pro, the config self module is 0. 1 is 1. So you need to check it here. For example, you can see this is Kinkone E8T board. And you will see this schematic Tuya module. You can see the button have connect with the Tuya module, and the LD is connect with the Tuya module's GPIO. So this time means the Tuya module manage the button and the LD directly. So in this case, you need to set to 1. So in this A32 Pro case, we just set to 0. Okay, let's go on. And here you just include this GitHub. That is Kinkone GitHub code that can be downloaded automatically. And this UART, that is Tuya RXT and TXT pins. And you can see we can change this UART, the TX and RX according to your board, ESP32 board. And we can see the schematic. This one, A32 Pro. You can see A32 Pro and this Tuya, and you can see Tuya, XT and TXT, and you can check in your ESP32 module right here, and you can see that Tuya TX and Tuya RX is 15 and 16. TX is 15 and RX is 16. So you can see it here that TX is 15 and RX is 16, no problem. And this is ID and this is the bandwidth is 9600. I just not change it. Okay, let's go on, and you will see this Tuya module. This is config for the Tuya module. Different Tuya product will have a different product ID, and you will see this MCU, Tuya MCU product ID, this product ID. What is this product ID? And what is this reset pin and LD pin means? So you can see the product ID, that means the Tuya plant 4. You will see we have created the A32 Pro that will have a product ID. The PID means product ID. Just this one. This we have showed in Kinkone's form. You can see it here. That is Tuya IoT plant 4 for A32 Pro. And you will see this is product ID. And this you will see this DP ID later. And you can see it here. This Tuya product ID just copied from Kinkone's this one web page, this one. And the next, you will see this Tuya reset pin and the LD pin that you need to check with your diagram. And you will see it here. The ESP32. At here, you can see this is reset is GPIO 21 and the LD is 45. So you can see we have set it here. This is 21 for reset button. And this one is for LD indicate 45. So this have configured for your Wi-Fi Tuya module. And the next you will see at here, just this one. This code is added for this, the code for the Tuya. And we can see our config code. And for example, the switch 1. You can see this is switch 1. Before you will have this one. This one already can add this switch 1 in Home Assistant. And we just add this code. You can see the plant floor is Tuya Wi-Fi MCU. And this DP ID, that means Tuya plant floor DP number 101. So you will see this switch 1, that DP ID is 101. As you can see, also we have created the Tuya product at here. This is switch 1. You can see the DP ID is 101 and the switch 2 is 102. So this we have created all 32 channel switch and some different such as digital input and the ADC and the DAC all at here. So we have listed at this web page so that can easy to copy and paste. So you can see switch 1 and DP 101 until switch 32, that is DP 132. And the digital input and the DAC output. So you can see you just paste your code at here, at DP ID. And the internal we set to true because this will create a virtual switch, Tuya virtual switch in Home Assistant. If I set to false, so in your Home Assistant dashboard, you will see two switches. One is for this physical switch, and the other is for the Tuya virtual switch. Because I don't want to show the one switch for twice, so I just set to the internal is true. That means you can't see this. It's not visible. So you just set to true. And this bind switch ID, that means we will use bind this Tuya switch to which physical switch. So we have created this virtual Tuya switch 1 and the band switch with the ID is A32 Pro switch 1. So this have linked with this Tuya. So that the switch 1 in Home Assistant and will have linked with the Tuya mobile phones switch 1. So that will be easy to understand. And this you can see we have created the switch 2. And also you have created the Tuya switch 2. And so this way you can see the switch 3 and the Tuya switch 3. And until you create the 32 switch. Okay, this is the switch 1 and to switch 32. And we can look at this type is binary sensor. That is the digital input you will connect with the sensor. So you have created the binary sensor in Home Assistant. We also need to link this Home Assistant binary sensor with the Tuya binary sensor. So it's also very easy. This we have created this in Home Assistant already, and you just add this code so that we can see our code. You just find the binary sensor 1, digital input 1, you can see. This already have created and found this binary sensor 1, digital input 1. You just add this code. You can see the plant floor is Tuya Wi-Fi MCU and the DP ID is 133 because we can find this DP ID. You can see the digital input 1, that is 133. So at here, you can see this is 133. Also, you need to bind this binary sensor with this one, this physical binary sensor, and this is Tuya virtual binary sensor. And also we set to the internal is true. So we will not show this binary sensor twice in Home Assistant dashboard. So you can see this is the first one, the digital input 1, and you can see this is digital input 2. Also use this way. You can see this is DP ID is 134, and also link with your physical binary sensor 2. And this you can see link with the physical boundary sensor 3, and this link with physical boundary sensor 4, because in our Tuya mobile phone application, you can see we have created the 4 channel of digital input, because we already have the 32 switch and the 4 channel digital input and the 2 channel dimmer DAC output. Because the Tuya, the totally limited with the 39 components, so we have used this 39 parts on the Tuya mobile phone. Okay, so that is how to configure the boundary sensor and the switch. Then you can just copy and paste directly to use. I just tell you and explain how it works so that you can understand it deeply. And now we have used the Ethernet. You can see I have connected by the Ethernet cable, and the default is by the DHCP. If you want to use static IP address, you can add some code. It's very easy to set the DNS, set the static IP address, and set the subnet. So will be easy. So after you press save, and we need to install the firmware to our A32 Pro controller, you can click install, and you can click by USB cable, because I have connected the A32 Pro and the Raspberry Pi USB port by the USB cable directly. So you can click this one, and that will be compile the firmware and download to the USB port. Okay, you can see now writing to ESP32. Now it's complete. Download the firmware, and we can close it and close it. And you will see this A32 Pro is online. So we can click setting and click device, and you will see that have auto discovered A32 Pro. You can click config and click submit. Okay, you can see that is successful and finish. And you can click the overview. You can see all entities have added to the dashboard. Okay, now you can see we have created all entities on the Home Assistant dashboard. You can see I can turn on every relay and turn off, and all on and all off from my Home Assistant. And then next, I will show you how it works with the Tuya, because this config file supports Tuya now. And now you can see this our A32 Pro. You will find and this Tuya LED that is blink. So that is ready to compare with the Tuya application. And we can place it here. Make sure you have installed the Wi-Fi antenna so that you can use Tuya. And you can see this is my mobile phone. I can press this Tuya application, and you can see that is auto discovered A32 Pro. So we can click add, and this is my loaders SSID and the password, and make sure you have enabled the Bluetooth, so that will configure it. Okay, you can see that is successfully. So I can press down, and you can see that have refreshed this page. I can press this relay 1. You can see relay 1 is on. So you can see this can work with the Tuya mobile phone. And that is, you can see 32 channel at here. That is 32 channel at here. This is digital input. I can test with it. If I shut the digital input one with the ground, you can see just like this. And you will see if I shut, that will turn red. You can see it here. If I release, that will be turn green. And this is Tuya and the Home Assistant can work at the same time, because if you have this Tuya mobile phone, and you will also use Alexa. And let's look at here, and you will see that 32 new devices have connect here. And you can see if I can choose this one-off switch, this is 31 and here 31. So this also can controlled by this Alexa application. You can see Alexa application also will support the Google Home because you want to use the voice control. So you can see I can connect with my Alexa. And also you can use this Google Home. I just take example used by Alexa. For example, you can change this switch name. You can see I can hold down and change it to light. I change to light, save. Alexa, turn on light.
Okay.
And you can see the light is on. The light is on at the Tuya. And also in Home Assistant dashboard, the switch one is on. Alexa, turn off light.
Okay.
Okay, you can see this is off and this is off, and the Home Assistant dashboard is off. So now you can use this Home Assistant and the Tuya mobile phone at the same time. Okay, let's look at this Home Assistant mobile phone application, and this is Tuya. So you can see I can use Home Assistant turn all on, and this is all on, and this Tuya is all on, and this is all off. And also you can see I can turn on this one, channel 1, and close this one. So two mobile phones will work at the same time. And you can see this Home Assistant is work by the Wi-Fi, so that you can use in local network. But this time, if I go outside of my house and go to anywhere on the world, you can see I can disable my Wi-Fi and I just use 5G, or you can use 4G, 3G. So you can see I can turn on this light also can work, and turn off also can work. So this is remote control by internet. So you can see turn on and update the state and update the state. So this is by internet. So you can see that use the 5G. So if your internet is broken, this mobile Tuya will can't use, and you can use the Home Assistant in your local network. And if this also is broken, the Raspberry Pi is broken, okay? So that you can use menu control button at here. You can see this can fall on and fall off without firmware and without software. So that can menu control it. Make sure your device can be controlled by this controller. Okay, this is how to use Home Assistant and Tuya mobile phone configured by ESPHome. Okay, so you can see this is how to configure the YAML file for A32 Pro. You work with Home Assistant and Tuya. And also you can see that have the E8T board. You can see this have a Tuya module on this PCB. And also you will see this is a E16T board. You can see this is a Tuya module on the PCB, and A32 also you will see that have a Tuya module on PCB. So this video I showed you how to use the YAML file in ESPHome to work with this Tuya module, so that you can use any Tuya board, so that can just configure it by ESPHome. So that will be very easy. Okay, thanks for watching.